Good Vach, Houston, and the rest of the world listening. Welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day number 224, a new mitzvah, part 1, using Sefer Hachinuch, a mitzvah that keeps your soul in its way, the prohibition to steal anything of value. Interesting, right? Dedicated in loving memory of Gershon ben Avram, Dr. Gilbert Lanoff, Vicky Ephron's father of blessed memory, on his yard site today, the 7th of Shvat. Thank you to Dr. Mark and Vicky Ephron for sponsoring in his memory. Here we go. The prohibition to steal anything of value. Lo tignavu, you shall not steal. With regard to taking another person's money unlawfully, the Torah differentiates between geneva, stealing another person's item stealthily, and gazela, open robbery, grabbing the item from the owner's hands. This mitzvah prohibition prohibits geneva. The prohibition of a gazela is the subject of mitzvah 229. We'll get there. V'lo sigzol, and you shall not rob. We are commanded not to steal any money. As it is stated in Leviticus, you shall not steal. Our sages of blessed memory have stated that this verse is the scriptural injunction that prohibits stealing money. The concept of theft is, as we've explained earlier in Parshas Mishpatim, Mitzvah 54. Let's see some footnotes here. He says, the Chinuch there explains that geneva, stealing, is the act of taking another's item stealthily without the owner seeing. Again, this is specifically money. Also, he says, which is the question I was thinking, a similar verse in Exodus, which states, lo signov, you shall not steal, is interpreted by our sages as referring to the stealing of humans, kidnapping. Now, that was the mitzvah in the 10 Commandments, right? In the 10 statements. But that's referring to stealing humans. Again, this is stealing money, rather than the stealing money. The reason that each of these verses is interpreted accordingly is based on the context in which each is stated. The verse in Exodus appears in the 10 Commandments in the context of prohibitions that carry capital penalties, murder, adultery, and is thus understood to be referring to kidnapping, which carries the death penalty. Our verse, though, is written in the context of monetary issues and hence refers to theft of money and items of material value. So now you know, folks. Now you know. Okay. The purpose of this mitzvah is well known, as it is among those mitzvahs that are dictated by logic. Among the laws of the mitzvah is that which our sages of blessed memory have stated in Bava Metzia, that it is biblically prohibited to steal even with the intent of returning the stolen item or with the intent of upsetting the owner. That is, when one steals to anger the owner of the stolen goods and to agitate him temporarily, and one intends to return the stolen item to him afterward. Okay, we'll learn more about this very fascinating mitzvah. To sponsor future mitzvah 36 100 of the gold. Have a wonderful evening. Mwah.